Yeah, thank you. Let me just share my screen. So, good afternoon. So, welcome to another session of the Moracle webinar, which of course we're still in the month of January, and then we information systems. So, so before I go further, I want to just apologize because of the time that we're starting now. So, and I'm very sorry about that. So, this is the Moracle Accountancy Formula. We have about 6 stages, and each and every stage is to rely on each other. So, but for today, we are still in stage number 1, which of course is management information systems. This is the bedrock of all the other stages. If your management information system stages is okay, then automatically, I do believe, every other stages will be okay. So, so let me just go through each and every stage and then give a brief explanation about them. So in stage 1, which of course it's the management information system, this is where we capture our data, we record our data, we analyze the data, we reconcile the data, we do payroll, the VAT, the gift aid, the budgets, the financial procedure manual, plenty other stuff. And then we do the CRM and that of the DMS integration. So stage 1, if anyone here that can handle stage 1, and let me say stage 1 is like like a baby for the person, I do believe every other stages will be okay. So, and in stage 1, we have different software that we are using. Which one, we have a QuickBooks, we have Xero, we have a Sage that we're using. But for currently, for us here at Moracle, we are currently using QuickBooks and Xero for most of our clients. So stage 1, as I said earlier on, this is where we have what we call background information. The background information, if most of the time, if you are here or you've been witnessing most of the session that we are holding, you'll notice that more like always discuss or always say something about background information, which of course it's very, very important, the background information. The background information, all about the background information is about for you to know what the company or the clients that you are working on, what they are doing. This is where you have different things about this company. And this stage, this background information, it's somehow divided into 6 different stages. 1 is the mission, the vision, the values, and the standards. That's part of the background information. 2 is the organizational chart. The organizational chart, for you to know who is who within the finance function. So if you try to understand the person that you're trying to work with, the company that you are operating on, or the clients that you are working for, you need to understand how the finance functions operate, who are within this organization or within a finance function. The reason being here is that if we go to the financial procedure manual, if we are doing, let me just assume that like we are doing an audit, like we are auditing a petty cash. Let me just say, yeah, we are auditing the cash system of a petty cash. And then information within the financial procedure manual, because we all know that the financial procedure manual, these are policies or guidelines to how we can be able to run the organization in terms of procurement and all the finance functions. So, but like for instance, if let me say now here at Moracle, we have assigned let me say Mariam to do to approve all other all the petty cash item. Like for instance, if we want to purchase any item out there, and then Mariam should be the person that should sign those petty cash documents. Let me say, for instance, and there is a threshold that should be there. Like for instance, any item that we are purchasing, like for £100 to £500, these amounts should be signed, or this check, or the balance, the petty cash voucher should be signed by Mariam. And then automatically, that's what the procedure said. That is what is written in our the financial procedure manual of our company. But when we are auditing Moracle now, and then we see £100 that £100 that is a petty cash item. It was approved, let me say, by Ahmed. So that is totally wrong. We need to adhere to the principles and policies or procedures that are within the financial procedure manual. We might also say that for any other item that is more than £2,000 and above should be signed by Molai. And then when we open the document, what we see is that, okay, 2,000 and above, we see a signature of Noah Dumbia. So is that not eye-opening? It has something, we need to question it. We need to do something about it. So that is all about you understanding the people that are within the organization, you knowing the organizational chart. Another key thing again, within the background information, let me say, is that the activities of the organization. We are in maybe the service that the organization are producing and so. But before let me say, we will discuss about this broadly when I come to the management information system properly. As I said earlier on, we have more than the background information is subdivided into 6 groups, different groups that each and every client that you are working on, as long as you are a staff here at Moracle, you need to do something about it. You need to understand it. So stage number 2, this is management accounts and value added. At this stage number 2, what we are using here is spotlight reporting. You know, yesterday I was my colleagues were asking me about what are some of the certifications that they need to have. Then I told them that I would get onto them because they thought that the spotlight reporting is a paid up course, something that you paid for. It's you need to pay for you to do the course. Then I said no, it's something, it's free. So the management accounts and value added, this is where we try to do management reports for the clients that we are working on, the different clients, because you need to, for instance, let me say, you need to show, or you need to give out the impression of to these shareholders of the company, the board of directors. You need to present to them data. It's not just about you giving them figures, because the management account that Spotlight Reporting are providing us with, they are very, very unique. I don't believe you can see them in any other software. They are very unique because it gives you, in terms of graph, if you want to see the company, because maybe you might be a lazy someone or a lazy director, or even if you are not lazy, but you might not want to see figures. Let me say, for instance, if you see figures or you see numbers, you will not be able to understand what the numbers are trying to say. Well, by you using the Spotlight Reporting, it will give you a clear picture about what the business is, the operation of the business. It gives you a insights in terms of graph. So you see, so it's not only about you giving them figures, but it gives you graph, pie charts. It shows you everything so far that you need to know about your business. So for you to make some informed decision, you know, because all about you reporting, you making a management report, it's about you giving a clear insight about the company, and also giving showing the board of directors or the shareholders an informed decision about the company, their income generating activities. What are some of the activities that they are spending more money for so you see, so all of these things you need to understand. So you see, in Moracle, I will call them expend and the incoming activities, the income. Okay, we have what we call the income generating activities, and that the expenditure incurring activities. The income generating activities, these are the activities in which maybe you are generating more income. For me, like what we are working on here, I'm working on some of the churches, like for instance, for Lighthouse Chapel International, Birmingham City. Let me just say for their income generating activities is unrestricted donations. The donations that they are receiving from their church members. These are their tithes. So you see, so but if you use Spotlight Report, it gives you clear insights about it. You just don't know how, you just don't know, you just don't need to read about it, really, By you looking at the pie chart, the bar chart, it will give you a clear understanding about it. Stage number 3 is statutory accounts and scheduling, which of course we are using digital. So on these statutory accounts, we have what we call a roll forward procedures, in which of course maybe we, for instance, 2023, some of the figures or some of the balances that we are having, we need to roll forward them to another year because we are now in 2024. So all of these items, we need to do a roll forward. We need to show the difference. And there comes again what we call the working with the trial balance, for you to ascertain the figures, try to see what's makeup of some of these figures. You see the lead schedules, you see the analytical review, all of these things happening within stage number 3, which of course is statutory account and scheduling. We have what we call taxation, which of course is stage number 4, taxation. And here we have different way in which we can be able to tax a company. We have what we call a corporation tax, and that's of self-assessment. This is where we normally come up with different way of giving in terms of taxing our clients. Let me say, for instance, the self-assessment tax. You need to understand how it operates, when and how to file your taxation. All of these things are found in stage number 4. When we go to stage number 5, this is where we have the reporting, the statutory audit, independent examination. This is what we call the accountant report. You need to, because you need to give, you can't just work on these figures without auditing them. You need to report on them. You need to audit these figures. And for you to audit these figures, you need to have an understanding about them. But mind you, all of these stages, they depend mainly on stage number 1. Like I told you earlier on, this Moracle Accountancy Formula is very unique. Each and every stage depends on each other. So you see, it's very unique. It's very boring and it's very unique. That's why you just don't need to leave any stone unturned. You need to work on each and every stage, try to understand it. For us here at Moracle, we are working as a team. So each and every stage has, let me say, there is someone that is working on it. That's, let me say, the person is a director on any stage. When it comes to stage number 1, we might have someone that is working on it and the person is fully grounded in it. When it comes to stage number 2, we have someone that is also working on it. Same goes to the different stages. So you see, and stage number 6 is finally with the authority. I remember the first time I filed an account it was for like a micro entity when I filed for the company. So it's like I feel joy. It's like, oh, okay, I've started making a move and I understand what I'm trying to do now. So you see, so if you are filing with the authority, you are filing with the authority. We can either file with the company, you can file with company house. So you see, they have different things. When you want to, in terms of the confirmation statements and that of the account of this company or this client, you either file with company house. And when it comes to annual return or so, you use the HMRC. So you see, it has different things, and it's very unique. When just like how all I always say is like when you're filing with the authorities, you just like if you say today I'm going to file my account, you feel okay, you feel like kind of relief that a burden has moved out of your way, or you have taken something out of your way. You feel like kind of you have started to make sense. So, but all of these other stages are not our focus points here today. Our main focus point here is about the management information system, stage number one, which of course is the bedrock. It's something that is very unique within the Moracle Accountancy Formula. You need to capture your data, you need to reconcile your data, you need to, all of these things should be at stage number one. Because why? You just can't, for instance, if your data or your let me say, yeah, your recording is incomplete, and then we want to work on stage number three, we will not be able, or if we want to work on stage number two, we will not be able to work on them. So stage number one must be done before ever you work on stage number two. So you need to capture this data, you analyze this data, you reconcile them. So stage number one is very, very broad, because for you to just see, just like because it's the first stage, it doesn't mean that this is the most easiest stage. No. The first stage has a lot to do. It has plenty of things to do within the Moracle Accountancy Formula. So let me just say, for instance, we need to work on a payroll in stage number one. You know how you need to understand how to pass this journal entry for you to work on the payroll. The VAT, you need to know the different percentage that are attached to this. You know, the VAT is 20%. You need to understand some of the policies within, because there are certain companies or certain clients that you are working on. Like for instance, the churches, they are exempt, no VAT is charged within them. So you see, so you need to understand how the VAT work, how it operates. These are all things that you need to take cognizance of about. So you see, and another thing again is about you working on the financial procedure manual. As I was saying earlier on, the financial procedure manual, this is where you need to put the policies of the company. You need to show what the company is operating on. What are some of the guidelines? Because the financial procedure manual guide each and every employee within the company. Maybe I might be doing something wrong, but if I go through the financial procedure manual in terms of procurement or any other stuff, the financial procedure manual will guide me. That is why it's very, very important for each and every company within, okay, each and every company that you are working with to have one. So they need to have the financial procedure manual, because it's all about you understanding the company. If you don't know, if you don't understand the company, then I don't think you can be able to work on it. No, you can't. You will never be able. You'll never be able to work on it. Another thing again, within this stage number one, you need to understand how to navigate through this software that we are operating on, that we are using. That is the QuickBooks, the Zero. Like always, more like I always say, no, you know what? The certification is not enough. You can have thousands of certification, but if you are not putting them into practice, then trust me, it's like there are certain, you will have certain loopholes, so many loopholes. Yeah, I found out when I started working, there are certain loopholes, because you just say, oh, I have the certificate. Yeah, you can have the certification, but for you to put your hands on them, try to do the stuff, it will be very difficult for you, because the certification is it's mainly based on theories. But you navigating through the system, working on how QuickBooks is operating, how Zero is operating. What are some of the features within QuickBooks Zero? How you can be able to make the chart of account, try to do certain things within Zero and QuickBooks. This will help you a lot for you to work and for you to do certain things. So it's very, very important for you to know how to work on this system. Another thing again that is found in stage number one, the background information is very lengthy. This takes a lot. And trust me, if the background information is complete and you understand fully how the background information operates, then trust me, you can be able to do your work. You can be able to work on these clients without anything in doubt in you. You will never be doubting something. That's how it operates. That's how the background information operates. So it's very, very important for you to understand the background information. As I said earlier on, we have about 6 different sub-headings within the background information. It's not about purely in stage number one, which of course is a specialized knowledge, just like how our CEO say, stage number one is it's a specialized knowledge. If you understand what's happening in the stage number one, I believe every other stages will be okay with you. So the background information is subdivided into six different level of stages, subgroup. The first one is the mission, the vision, the values, the standard of the company. If you are working on any company, you need to understand the vision. You need to understand this company. You need to know what this company are doing. What's really is their vision? What is their mission? Because the reason being, if you don't understand these basic fundamentals of the company, I don't think you can be able to work on this company. No, you will not be able. Like, I remember before going for the holidays, when a colleague of mine asked me, he said, no, I know what, I need the background information for the churches. I was like, wow, oh, this is a very huge job for me to do. I was thinking, oh, how how can I start this? But you know what? I follow the procedures that we have, and I try all possible means to work on them. She was very amazed with the job. Say, wow, this is very wonderful. So you see, I just feel like if what if we work on all other company that we are operating on that are assigned to you. You try to do this stage number one thing. You try to work on it. Trust me, you are making the life easy for you, and you're making the life easier for the boss or for your colleague. Because this information should be always available. If I want to work, okay, for now, you say, okay, come and work on this company. I need to see the income generating activities of this company. Who are within this organization? What is the mission of this company? Like for the churches, they are mainly based their operation is for is to accomplish. These are some of the things they want to do. So you see, so that's why it's very, very important. These fundamentals don't take that out. Every time I'm listening to one thing, yeah, it sounds simple, but if you put your hand on that, try to work on them, you see, oh, what always they are discussing at Moracle is not something that is very easy as you can see. Yeah, but it's all about the understanding. If you try to put yourself there and try to understand the company, what they are doing, sincerely, you can be able to work on something. So you see, she was very impressed about the work. So that's it. That's how it should be. If you are making you are making your life easy, you are also trying to make another person's life very easier. So that's how it should be. So another thing again within the sixth subgroup within the background information. The other one is about the organizational chart. I already discussed about it, which of course you need to know who are within the organization. When it comes to Miracle, like always, Mola said, the first person of contact the person you meet, just don't say, oh, Linda is just like the person that I meet whenever I want to log into to Miracle. No, Linda has a position. She has a position. She has a role to play. She has the thing that she's doing that is making also other colleague life easier. Yeah, because if you take a look, Linda is the first person of contact So most of these other clients, because how it happened, like Linda, when we have a new client, Linda is the person that team try to show anything so far that is coming in. They will use Linda's email to send it, and Linda pass it on to the right person. So you see, each and every person has consultants. You have a role to play. When it comes to who and who within the organization, you need to measure these people, their role. Who is the CEO of Miracle? You need to know that Mola Ikagbo is the CEO. Who is Mariama? Who is Noah within the company? Who is Jalikato? Who is Jessica? You need these are all I would say these people you can find them within the management information system. Who is Sepide? You need to understand what Sepide is doing. So you see, these are very, very important for you to understand. You need to know these stages, how these things operate, how they work. Because you know in them, trust me, it's like an added advantage for you to understand better what the operation or what the company is trying to work on. What you are trying to do. You might know that now if I want to talk to somebody in this company, if you need to know the person that you need to contact. For instance, if you are working on let me say for instance you are working on Motor Vehicle Academy. In Motor Vehicle Academy, they have different people within the organization. They have their CEO. They might have somebody that is recording, that is doing also that is recording their transaction. So if you want some information that's mainly depending on figures or transaction, you just don't need to go and talk to the engineers. No, you don't do that. You need to know the person, the first person of contact. If you are coming with a job to Miracle and then you want to work on account, you just don't know, you just don't go to Sepide to work on your account. No, Sepide will not do, because Sepide will not do that. Sepide is not the person that's in charge of working on account. So you see, that is why it's very, very unique. So if you have this picture in your mind, try to understand what these things are trying to say. Trust me, the work will be very easier for you. Another thing again is about the activities, the activities of this company that you're working on. Let me say, for instance, for Motor Vehicle Academy, their activities, it's like they are repairing and repairing of motor vehicles, and so you see they are mainly based on repairment. So they are dealing with parts, motor vehicle parts. So you need to know what is their income generating activities. What are they spending more money on? What they are doing that is coming with income to them, with them. So you see, it's very important. When it comes to the churches, like I was mentioning earlier on, the principal activities of the churches, they are religious activities. They mainly hold services, and then they want to propagate the religion of the Christian religion. This is their principal activity. This is what they're doing. They conduct crusades for people. They want to change the lives of young people that are within the university. They want to give you a spiritual well-being. You know, all of these things. You need to know them, because why? If you are posting for this company, you will not be finding it difficult. Because for now, I know that Lighthouse Chapel International, Birmingham, what they are doing is they are holding service, and they might have different branches with all over UK. So I know that because they do not have buildings in some of these areas that they are situated at, what they will do, they do what we call it's like they hire other churches apartments, or they do like something like, I can say, a rent sublet. You might have your space, and then they come there and say, you know what, we are all in our service here. Let's just have this room for maybe 2 hours or 3 hours. This is what this is their let me say, their expenditure incurring activities by paying their amounts in terms of renting halls for their church members all over UK. That is where their expenditure is. That is where they are incurring expenditure activities. This is where they spend most of their money. So when you come to what they are generating, where they are generating more income, you will say, you know what? In terms of their tithes, the services that they are the trust, the unrestricted donation they are receiving from their members, that is where they are the donation, the tithe, that is also where that is their income generating activities. This also remind me of what they do again in terms of the churches. They do what we call the mission and support. So other religious organization or a mission and support to other religious in terms of other religious activities. They might be in UK and then they are trying to sponsor other company other churches in Africa. You see, they are doing that. They are supporting mission. So you see, you need to get this back of your mind because you just see, for instance, you just see, let me say, 70,000 going out. You don't know what to do about it. You don't know how to post this amount. You see 61,000. You see 59,000. Like, like my boss always say, the last time I was very confused about banks. These are balance sheet item. These are, when you make transfer, it's not going to the P&L, it's going straight to the balance sheet. These are balance sheet item. So, but the mission and support is going to the profits and loss. So I was somehow confused about it. And then I said, you know what, Sayama, I need a lesson on this. Come and show me. I said, direct me about the expenses.
Can't interrupt us like that. Network, just be careful. Network, be careful. We can't take away our lecturer.
About that, sorry. So she told me, yeah. Sorry about that. So you say, you know what? You need to understand, for instance, how we are working on the expenses. Like for instance, normally how it's operating. So how it happen is that if we have a hot dog and then post it there, you just match it. So my mama told me that, you know what, Noah? Any amount, like for instance, if you see like 50,000 pounds going out or 100,000 pounds, definitely look at the figures. You know that they will not transfer, like for instance 36,433. No, they will not. He said just look at the number. They will not do that. They will not transfer that. He said it's just like it's a test case. It doesn't mean they are not transferring it, but it's some like it's very it's not it's rare. So you see, he said, you know what, Noah, go and do this check, and then I found out that yeah, it's true because if you are working on the churches, you just see maybe 90,000 going out to another bank account, 100,000, but you will never see, let me say, 27,399. No, when you see such amounts, automatically a huge amount, a huge amount like that, you need to know where to post it. It should be posted to what we call the mission and support, based on the documents, or let me say the invoice that you have. You see there that this amount is going to another church, maybe in Africa or so. So you see, these are all for you to understand. If you have this concept, trust me, if you are working on this thing, it will be very easier for you. Another thing again is about the chart of account setup. Like I said earlier on, you need to understand the business. You need to understand the business. So if I said you need to be consistent with the business activity, what the business is doing, you need to know. It's not something that should be you need to understand it. Because if you don't understand the business, you don't know what the business activities are, trust me, you will not be able to do the work. You will not be able. And definitely, if you are not able to do you will not, if you are not able to do the work, you will not be able to do your postings. And mainly how it operates is that all other items or all other things are mainly dependent on this background information, because you knowing you knowing what's the business is all about. Trust me, it will save you most time, because you don't have the time again to go out there and going back and forth. No, but because it's in you, you have understand what how it operates, then sincerely you can do the job. So you see, it's very, very important. So this is also it's a key. It's a key in terms of operation or operating in these churches. You need to know that when you're operating with the churches, the main source of generating income is from the donation, the fundraising that they are doing, the offering from its church members, all these things. You need to understand them. Another thing that it tells you again is about you understanding the key customers within the organization. You knowing the key customers, you need to understand and know their full details. Because you know what? If you want to post, you know that, okay, a money that is coming from let me say a money coming from any church, like for instance, a money is coming from Our Lady of Peace in terms of the churches. You know that, oh, Our Lady of Peace, this money that will pay there is an whole higher payment that we are doing. It saves you a lot of time. You can, for instance, if you are working with a company that, let me say, they are not sending in their invoices accordingly, or they are not sending their invoice to time, but by you understanding how the operation of this business, trust me, be able to post without seeing the invoice. But later, after sending the invoice, you need to come and do again. You need to come and match these things, because as I said, each and every stages depend on others. So if you want to work on stage 2, you need to work on stage 1 first. Stage 1 needs to get out of our way for us to work on stage number 2. So you see, another thing again is about you knowing you need to understand their bank accounts, how the bank accounts operate. Because why you need to know it? Because like the transfer that I was telling you about, maybe this account number that we are using, if we are using, like for instance, for instance, we are working on let me say First Love Church. I need to know that I need to understand what is their bank account. I need to understand it. Because you understanding the bank account, you know that if, for instance, an amount of £200, £200,000 is coming from the Barclays Bank that they have, and it's going to another Barclays Bank, it will be very easier for you. You know that, oh, okay, this is a transfer. These are some of the skills that you need to understand. So you see, you need to also know the tools that they're using, the software that they are using. Are they using Xero? Are they using Sage? Are they using QuickBooks? You need to understand it properly. Another thing again is about you preparing their budgets. Because as we all know, budget is like it's an estimate or an assumption. So you need to prepare it. You need to know, because you understand, you knowing, for instance, if Moracle have budgeted out, you know what, for our staff salary and wages, maybe for instance, let me say it will be like £500,000, and then Moracle started spending £1 million. As an accountant or as a trusted advisor, you need to come to the drawing board and ask them. You need to call the board of directors, ask them, you know what, how you budgeted £500,000 for staff salaries. How are you spending now £1 million? It will enable you to, it shows that you care about the company. It shows that you understand what the company is doing. If they have made a budget of, let me say, in terms of the choices, they have budgeted that our whole hire for this accounting year will be like £300,000. And then you started seeing, let me say 1 million or 2 million pounds. You go to the drawing board and say, no, you know what? Something is wrong here. Let's see what to do. That is why they say budget is an assumption. It's an estimate. You know what? You need to call you as a trusted advisor, you need to question it. So it's very important. That is why we need to know these stages. That is the 5th stage, the budget preparation in terms of the background information. Number 6 is about how you post. Your posting and transaction. You know, your financial procedures manual. The financial procedure manual, like I said, it has different things. It's a policies, it's guide you about what the pros and cons, what you need to do and what you don't know, you do not need to do within the company. If, for instance, when I started, I make about a petty cash. If, for instance, no, is the signatory to all petty cash within the company, from £500 to £1,000. But anything so far that is within that range should be done by Noah, should be signed by Noah. If you see my signature now, for let me say for like from £2,000 to 5,000, you need to question it as a trusted advisor. You need to come to the drawing board and ask, why is it that Noah signed this? What's happening? You need to question it. You know, you need to question it. You need to. It shows that you really understand what you're doing. So that's why it's very, very important. So you see, so I do believe this I've explained so much within the stage one. So now I don't know if anyone has a question. Anyone, please? The floor is open so that we because it's already 2 minutes now. It remains 2 minutes for us to end the program. Is there any question someone might want to ask in terms of the stage number one? Any question, please?
Okay. I don't have a question, but I just want to say well done. And your presentation, you absolutely smashed it. I'm so proud of you. I'm seeing the progress. Well done. I took in a lot myself, and I hope everyone else did as well, on how important stage one is and all the other stages as well.
Thank you very much, Mariana. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any other question? Okay, so I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to everyone that is present here. And please, we are kindly asking you guys to keep sharing the link to your colleague, your friend within any group so far that you are, because these are practical experience that you gain within this presentation, because today just like I'm here, but mostly you either see the James or that's of our boss, which of course is more like Cargo FCCA. So please, you need to keep sharing the link so people might come and to gain something within and learn something new, because we are all work in progress, and then we are trying to understand what we're doing. We are not, nobody is perfect. We're just trying to put into practice what we are learning. So I want to thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Noah.
Thank you, Noah.
Thank you.